Hello and welcome to FTB Sports. This is the daily transfer news update. We have two special guests on today, Solo and Mike, and we're going to discuss the latest rumours that we have for January transfer window. So let's start off with this one that's now on screen. Pogba in talks with Juventus. We'll come to Solo as the United fan. What's going on here?
Again, for me, it's the agent. I just believe it's the agent. Pogba's contract's running down now. And if the rumors are correct, what will happen is if Pogba moved now before his contract ran down to the last year, basically the agent get 40% of whatever Pogba is sold for.
Wow.
So I'm a Pogba fan. I'm a massive Pogba fan. I'll defend him. I think he's a player that United need to keep. We need to build a team around him. And I also think the owners, whatever promise they gave him to begin with, they haven't stuck by it.
Okay.
Honestly, I can't see him going Juventus anyway, because of the current climate, Juventus can't afford nothing. They can't afford it.
So Pogba's 27 now. He's got,
Yes.
a year left on his contract. He'll be 28 next year if he doesn't sign. Potentially could go on a free. That's his prime age. That's a prime age. So at that sort of age, would you take him, Mike?
No. I'll be brutally honest. I would not touch Pogba with a barge pole. If I was Ollie right now, Pogba wouldn't even be anywhere near my first team unless I haven't seen whether Pogba's actually called out in the media as to whether what his agent said was wrong and basically said that it was an error, etc. I don't know if that's happened or not, but if Pogba hasn't said anything about what his agent said in the media, then there's got to be an element of truth that he wants to go. So I'd let him rot in the under-23s till he's gone. I'd sell him. I'd even drive him to the airport and say, "See you later, highest bidder, take him."
To go back to that, Mike, he has come out on his Twitter and Instagram page to say he's happy at Man United. He did come out and say it after the last episode of what Raiola said. You know what? So he has defended it.
I think all these players, most of them will say that because they don't want to fall out with the fans. They don't want the fans to get out because he's a prime example of someone who lives on social media. He's got people after him, on his case, loving him, all the rest of it. He don't want to spoil that. So again, a lot of that I want to take with a pinch of salt. I'm happy, I think he wants out, but as you rightly said, they ain't going to pay that sort of money.
Nope, not for his wages.
No.
Well, you say that Juventus have got money because look what they're paying Ronaldo. I know it makes up with what he sells in shirts and stuff, but Juventus have got money. It's just whether they would want to spend that. And I think Pogba's a shithouse. I honestly think he's just a mercenary, mate. He'll play for the teams.
Don't hold back.
Yeah, don't hold back. Yeah, just go for Pogba. It's all right. Let's get Pogba.
Honest, mate. I think he's a fraud.
World Cup winner. Hang him.
Lloris is a World Cup winner. But you don't get anything like that from him, do you?
Yeah. You know what I think though, and again, I don't know if you guys agree with me here. It's all to do with his agent. It's all the agent's got to do. It's nothing to do with Pogba. It's the agent because you got to think how we went with Haaland as well. Brett Haaland, same situation, same thing he did.
I think there's a thing.
But then you've got a question. Yeah, go on. Sorry, Sam.
There's things in there that I think he's a bit of both. Obviously, his agent will make a lot of money out of this deal. Pogba again, is he happy at Man United as a bit pop player? I don't think so. I think he wants to be the main man. Bruno Fernandes looks like he's the main man now. So Pogba said, you know what, I could probably move on. I know if he goes to Juventus, he's got
loads.
But he's been there before. He knows the city. He's going to be, again, adored by the fans because it's Paul Pogba. Shirt sales would go through the roof. So it's a win-win for everybody if they get the deal right, So
yeah, I'll drive to the airport.
Quick one as well with that. You're correct with it because I think if I'm right to say there's rumor is Jeep is willing to fund it as well.
There you go. That makes sense to me. Well, let's go on to our next rumor of the day then. Declan Rice wants to move to Chelsea. Declan Rice. West Ham to Chelsea. That's a bit of a sticky one. But I could see Chelsea wanting that sort of player. I'll come to you, Mike, first.
My thoughts on this would be
West Ham and Chelsea, two of our most loved teams?
I'd border on the side of caution with this one, because you only have to look at. I'll go back to Danny Drinkwater, and look what's happened to him. He's rotting in the reserve. He's rotting in the under-23s at the moment. For any English player that wants to play at a higher level than, say, West Ham are at, I don't think Chelsea's the place to go. I think he'd be better placed staying at West Ham for the rest of the season, and then reassess his situation if he wants to move on, wants to play European football, etc. There'll be other clubs that are after him, but I just don't think Chelsea's the right place to go.
I think you're right in what you say in that sense, because I look at someone like Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I think he's a quality player. Couldn't get a game. Ross Barkley, another one. Couldn't get games at Chelsea. Yeah. Went there, big ambitions. And now what's that? Well, Ross Barkley's doing all right. Loftus-Cheek at Fulham. Again, is he going to want to be in a relegation battle all season for the rest of this year? I don't think he does, but he's going to have to be there. So someone like Declan Rice to go from West Ham to Chelsea, I don't know if it benefits. Well, I say it doesn't benefit the player. Obviously, it's going to benefit the player if he's going to get more wages.
But with Loftus, him at Fulham's not a bad move, because he's going to get that game time that he needs to be knocking on Southgate's door to push for
England
for the Championship. So for me, I think that's not a bad move for him. Although he's at a relegation club, and he might not want to be there, but in this current situation that he's probably find himself, whereby he's not getting game time at Chelsea, I think Fulham's probably a decent move for him, because he's getting that game time that he craves for. And if he does well at Fulham, why can't he push for England squad?
Why can't he push for our transfer as well?
I look at Declan Rice, and I'm looking at you now, Solo. He'd be ideal for United. Ideal player.
He'd be ideal for United, but again, for me, my worry is it's the manager. That's my worry. The manager he's playing for. So again, a lot of people know I'm Ole out. I'm not Ole in at all. As much as United are doing well, I believe we're doing okay. Win our next 2 games, we're sitting in a nice place. Yeah. But I just think a lot of people will look out. I'll give you 2 or 3 players to talk about. So you got Maguire. A lot of people say about Maguire how terrible Maguire is. Maguire isn't terrible. The problem is the manager.
About that.
It's the manager. His game has gone backwards since he's been at Man United. He's gone backwards.
So how do you? Yeah, I get you.
He's gone backward.
We'll have to agree to disagree on it. Yeah. I don't think he's very good. I personally don't think
he's not worth the money. He's not worth the money we paid for him, but he's gone backward in my eyes.
He goes backwards when he runs. That's what he does. Maguire,
with Maguire, since that Greece incident, he's not been the same.
Before the Greece incident, what are you talking about?
Something happened that no one's privy about, and he's just not been the same ever since. He's had a couple of games here and there that have been okay, but
no, not having it. Not Rob, we're tackling you on play. I'm not having it. Sorry, no. But Declan Rice, go back to Declan Rice. I think with Declan Rice would be ideal for United. My problem is Solskjaer. I don't trust him. I don't trust him for a penny. I don't know what he's going to do. We could buy him. And the thing for me as well, Declan Rice, Man United come knocking on that door. It's going to be 100 and something million.
He's going to be expensive. But like you said, in this current climate, no one's going to get players at 100 million anymore. So to be realistic, particularly in a January transfer window, teams don't want to lose their best players. West Ham obviously aren't going to want to lose them. So they're going to slap a price tag on them. I don't think anybody would pay 100 million now.
There's no way West Ham are going to let him leave in January.
We'll swap him. We'll do a swap. We'll give him Phil Jones, Rojo, Pogba, and
you've got some sort of traction there, because it could be some sort of swap deal. If they want to buy him outright, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. 80 million for me is a lot of money for Declan. It's a lot of money. I don't care.
And because he's English, for me, the best place for Declan Rice is. Honestly, if I was Declan Rice and I was his agent, I'll be looking abroad. I'll be looking at the sort of like La Liga probably. I'll be looking at, say, Germany. He
needs to be in Southgate's face week in, week out with. But
you say that about Southgate, but when I watch him play for England, he doesn't look anywhere good as what he played for West Ham.
Yeah, but no, what I'm saying is he needs the exposure whereby Southgate's going to be able to see him and keep easy. Like, it's easy to see Rice in the Premier League than it is keeping tracks on him overseas. especially with the Euros coming up and stuff. The Euros coming up.
Euros,
He strikes me as a real like Londoner, right boy. He wants to stay in the city, so I can see him move into a Chelsea. I can see him moving to United, probably not in January, potentially mainly. in the summer, but I don't know. But
like what Mike said though, I honestly, if I was that player, I'd stay at West Ham at least till the summer.
He's getting
guaranteed 90 minutes.
Guaranteed 90 minutes, and if he plays as he's playing, West Ham are doing well. He's in line, should I say, for the England spot for the Euro. So I think that one's probably going to be a bit of a rumour.
Saga will run. The saga will keep running.
Same with Pogba. The saga's just going to run.
Yeah, the saga's going to run. So West Brom have sacked Bilic, and now they've got in the archetype, which we would call Big Sam. I was hoping that Big Sam was going to take over at Arsenal, and I would have been cheering to the rafters if that happened. Obviously, with Arteta getting the result yesterday, that probably kept him in a job for a few more days. But that's the strange thing. West Brom draw with City, a great result, and they sack their manager the next day and bring in Big Sam. Big Sam. But Big Sam's got a great record. He's never been relegated. So
he will be with this West Brom team. They haven't invested. They haven't invested well enough, this West Brom team. And like you said, they've drew against Man City. Yeah, that's a great result. So you draw against Man City. Talks was going on with Big Sam weeks ago. Yeah, this is somebody that just come up.
Yep.
They lost. I think they lost like 5-0 or 5-1 or something like that. And I believe it started from then when they lost that game. So they've been in contact with Big Sam since. With this team right now, I think in the first season with Village in the Championship, got them promoted, got them in the Premier League, got a City off Man City, at least show him some sort of respect. I thought appointing Sam Allardyce is disrespectful.
But like you were saying, I think they'd made a decision some time ago. Even if they'd won yesterday against City, it would have looked really ridiculous them sacking him. But I think the decision had already been made. So do you think, Mike, they can keep him up? Do you think Sam could keep up West Brom in the Premier League?
Yeah. Because they've done it, if they're going to do it early rather than late, and they've got enough time for Sam to sort things out at West Brom, and he can almost change it to his style of play to a certain degree that will give him that fighting chance of staying up. I think, I can see them staying up. Yeah.
Who you see getting relegated then? What do you think? Who's getting relegated?
Well,
because I can't see West Brom staying up at the moment. My relegation thing is going to be Sheffield United, West Brom, and Fulham.
Arsenal should be worried. That's what I think. They should be worried. They haven't got Big Sam to keep them up. I think Arteta is. They've missed the trick. I'm telling you, they've missed the trick. All you Arsenal fans out there, you've missed the trick.
Arsenal, if they get embroiled into that relegation scrap, which hopefully they will, they have not got the minerals to get out of a relegation battle.
It's going to be fun. Let's not Arsenal bash. Let's get on to the last.
Stop it in once. But yeah, on a serious note, I can see Allardyce keeping West Brom up.
Okay, fair enough. The last rumour of the day then: can Chelsea keep Giroud? Olivier Giroud. Thoughts on that, Solo?
For me, I think, to be honest with you, Giroud needs to leave Chelsea. He has to leave Chelsea. He has to. I don't understand how Chelsea use him as a sub when he scores for fun for them.
He scored. He started the last couple of games. Give him his dues. He started the last couple of games. But I'm with you. He's at 34 with the youngsters that they've now got in. He's not a long termer, but is he somebody that you can bring to change the style of attack? He's very much a in the air box player. Get them headers. Whereas Werner doesn't strike me as that type of player. I don't see Pulisic doing that sort of job. Tammy Abrahams, I don't think he's as good as Giroud is. He's got more pace and certainly a more direct approach, but I think Giroud is a better player. So would it be worth them keeping him?
Yeah. I can't see why Chelsea would want to let Giroud go. If any of the strikers get injured, Giroud will play. and he has been given a few chances to start and stuff. Chelsea, if they let him go, then Chelsea have got to find a replacement and quick. Unless they've got someone on the radar already, I just don't think Giroud in this window will leave. I think he'll stay to the summer.
He will stay. He has to. The thing with it is, though, like you said, if you pull Giroud out of that team, it doesn't really give the depth in it now when it comes to up front. Because you can probably throw Giroud on the 70th minute and know he's going to do something.
So we've got a comment here. Giroud is more clinical than Werner. This is coming from Adam Morris here. So there are people that believe that, that would be a mistake for Chelsea to get rid of someone like Olivier Giroud.
I believe so.
I agree.
I believe so.
I think there was still that talks not so long ago that, Jose was interested in Giroud. Now, that would have been a bit much for me to come from Arsenal to Chelsea, then to come to Spurs. I know we've had it before with the likes of, who was it?
Sol Campbell. Well, you had Sol Campbell to
William
Arsenal.
Gallas, wasn't it?
Gallas as well.
Gallas, that's the Gallas one. That Gallas one was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I couldn't take that one. But I don't know. He's certainly got something different, but nothing more than what Harry Kane's got. And I think for Spurs to get Giroud, that would be a problem.
It'd be a waste, though. The problem is, if he did go to Spurs, it'd be a waste, because the problem is he's a quality player. He's a quality player, absolute quality player. And for me, like I would always say, I don't understand how he does not start for Chelsea. Why Frank don't use him more often than what he actually does now. I think Frank's style of play.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike. He's got these very technical, very much like intricate style of play. And although Giroud can fit into that, the direct, pacey style, because if you look at Pulisic, you look at Werner, you look at Ziyech, you look at what's his name, Havertz as well. These are all players who young, fast, quick. They want to get in and around and direct behind the ball, behind the back line. Giroud is one of those who wants to come to feet. He wants to, bring everything to him and then play off him. And I think Frank's got a different style of play going forward. So maybe, also
Giroud likes to attack the ball in the box. He relies on service from the wingers, doesn't he? Really?
You say that, but I've watched Giroud. Like, I've seen him score a couple of goals, like where he's done the work himself, not in the box, but from outside. He can use that as well. But I think with age, the older you become, it's almost like, I want to be in the box. But I believe he's still got the capability of playing rather than trying to get someone to cross the ball or something like that. He can still do it.
Well, look, he's France's number one striker. He's in that French team. He's, going to go to the Euros. He's going to play for France. He's another one that wants to be playing all the time, every single match. And he's not going to get that at Chelsea. He's going to have to play a part, play a role. Would he go somewhere like, where would he go? Like,
well, that's it. Who would buy it? Chelsea aren't going to let him go to anyone they consider a rival.
No.
So that's top six out of the question.
Where I think right now, I reckon somewhere in Germany, if anything.
Potentially go abroad, but I don't know if he has to be somewhere in the Premiership he'd go
if he goes anywhere, it'll be in the summer. I can't see Chelsea wanting to make themselves weaker at this stage of the season. It just wouldn't make sense.
It'd be stupid if they did it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's always
if the player wants to play week in, week out, and the agent comes in, then they have to do it.
But he's not going to. I don't know. He's going to come with a fee at his age. I don't know.
It's a funny.
I think it's a rumor at the moment,
and it is. It's a strong rumor. I think the player is just making it known that he wants to play regularly. So that's why these kind of things are coming out. Yeah. I think he's keen to make sure he's in that France squad as the number one. I don't think he'd come out of that, but obviously France have got some really quality players. So if he doesn't play for months on end, it could hamper his actual, position in that team.
Oh, we know what Deschamps like, don't we?
Yeah. Well, I think we've got to the end of today's rumours and the transfer potential. So I think we might close up there. So thanks to everybody for watching today's edition of the Transfer Special FTB Sports. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Make sure we get those numbers up and tune in for our next installment of Transfer Special. Thank you guys, and see you again soon.
Cheers.
See ya.